What is everybody? What is up, Crowllies? We're here. We just cleanse the space before we get started. Give everybody a chance to come on in for this live stream reading. All right, we're going to leave that right here. Now, I will be looking off to the side and stuff like that because I will be interacting with those of you that are in the chat. But this is going to be a reading for the Crowllies, the collective, on what you need to know at this time. Okay, let's see what comes out for you guys. I'm going straight, just your energy, just everything you, okay? Anything else comes out, it comes out because it needs to, but I'm really just focusing on you guys right now, like your energy, what's going on, what you need to know, what's interacting you, what's who's interacting with you, whose energy is affecting you, what you need to, pay attention to moving forward, what your attention needs to be focused on and stuff like that, okay? So just everything you, Crowllies, show me Crowllies energy. And for those of you that are new here, Crowllies is a term of endearment. When I say Crowllies, I mean my collective who gets messages through spirit animals, specifically birds. We often either see ravens or crows. Sometimes we'll see other types of birds, but mainly those are the crows that call to us. And so usually that's pretty much like why we ended up meeting each other here, right? So that being said, that's why I say collective a lot, or Crowllies. When I say Crowllies is a term of endearment, that's what it means. It means that you too have guides that come in the form of ravens or crows. They could also come in the form of blue jays, sparrows, red cardinals, starlings, geese. Am I missing any of you guys? Owls, right? So just bird spirit animals, spirit totems. There you go. That come in the form of birds, feathers, right? That's why we're here. So that being said, show me Crowley's energy. We have 11:33 on the clock. Ooh. Okay, so risk is in the reverse. We have growth. I don't think you're here to play around. Want me to start off with that? You're not here to play around. You're not playing around with anyone. You're not here to gamble. You're here to win. Okay. You're here to reclaim what you've lost. We have the messages in the reverse. Be careful with not be careful with the consistency in which you check your messages, okay? You don't want to overlook something. You might not be getting a message. It might be hard for you to get a message across to someone, or this could be a situation where spiritually, there's certain downloads that you're not receiving. Something is not clicking. Clarify risk. Clarify risk. Invisible in the reverse. Yeah, you're not hiding anymore. If you guys were in the period of hiding, I don't see you hiding anymore. You're not hiding your feelings. You're not hiding yourself. You're not hiding anything. You're not hiding your love life. There's nothing for you to hide. Summon, you called me. Here I am. Like, showing up. Like, what's up? You know, that whole like not doing anything it's not working. That's what I'm hearing. So what you need to know right now, the way you're showing up that way for a reason, right? The way you want to start moving now, it's like that for a reason, right? We have understanding. You're understanding your role now. You're understanding your role. So what is your role? Are you the high priestess? Are you the empath, intuitive? Are you the one that walks with your blood lineage? Which one are you? Because like you're stepping up to the plate right now. And there's gonna be like some sort of illumination that takes place in your energy. From what I'm seeing here, we have chaos. Yeah, so this is what you're not receiving. You're not understanding that your ancestors are trying to warn you about something. It's almost like what you need to know right now is there is going to be situations that you are not going to be warned about. And sometimes when we don't get warnings about certain things, we act out, okay? We have self-worth here. So that being said, make sure that you are catering to yourself the most when things get unpredictable, okay? Clarify chaos, movement. Yeah, that wouldn't be the time for you to start making any moves, any sudden moves. Especially when you feel like you're not either understanding the messages your spiritual team is delivering to you, or, and I just want to reiterate this for those of you that watch me on different platforms and stuff like that. When I do messages on the Crowllies channel, I am channeling your spiritual team, your spiritual court. Okay. When I pop up over on Twitter, whenever I do pop up over on Twitter, because my schedule is pretty hectic and I help a lot of people and stuff. Whenever I do readings over there on Twitter, those messages are more catered to your passed away loved ones, your ancestors. So that would be considered kind of like mediumship. Okay. Those ancestor messages are over there. Here, I'm talking about your spiritual team, your spiritual courts, those that were assigned to you at birth, those that walk with you throughout your whole entire lifetime until it's over. Okay, your spiritual team, your spiritual court. They are there to help you along your spiritual path, your spiritual journey, your spiritual initiation, your spiritual awakening, your ego death, laws, new beginnings, your transformation, your healing journey, all of that. Okay, they're there for all of that. Your passed away loved ones can do but so much for you. Your ancestors can do but so much for you. Now, don't get it messed up. They can do things for you on the spiritual end. Like they can help you with certain things. But that's not their assignment. They have other things to do on the other side. So everybody has a spiritual task. Those that are living and those that are in metaphysical form, okay? Those that are in energetic form. So they're not physical. You can't touch them. However, you can feel them energetically. That's the energetic interaction. that we sense with spirits and with spiritual beings, spiritual energies. Okay, um, they're saying that sometimes you're not going to get the message. Sometimes you're not going to get a warning from your ancestors. Sometimes you're not going to get a warning from your passed away loved ones on what's going to happen next. Because if you were to be prepared for that, then how would you learn the lesson? How would you learn the lesson? You get what I'm saying? If they tell you the answer, how would you learn the actual lesson? You wouldn't. You wouldn't understand why the answer is that answer. You get what I'm saying? So there's gonna be times where it feels like everything is chaotic. All right. There's gonna be times where everything feels like it's chaotic. Where there's people constantly calling you, or there's always something random happening, right? Um, and the best thing for you to do in that period of time is not to do too much. Just don't do anything. Don't do anything irrational, right? If you think about a horse, when a horse gets spooked, a horse can fucking stomp somebody out. You get what I'm saying? And it's just because they get spooked, right? So they're saying what you need to know right now is don't get fucking scared. Don't get fucking scared. Don't get nervous. Don't become impulsive. Don't get impatient. Don't start freaking out. You get what I'm saying? Just because like you're stepping into your power and stuff like that. And so like a lot of things are gonna kind of I'm hearing like radioactive, like it's just everything is gonna start like popping off like a minefield and shit. When you start walking into different places because your energy is different. You're coming in a different way. Clarify this glowing energy around them. It's like a golden orange energy around you guys. And this would be within probably mid next month. Okay. Mid next month. The following month, mid month. All right. This is where that energy is going to come in. We have listening is in the reverse. Okay. So it's almost like as you step into this grove energy, that's you sitting in your empress or your emperor throne. Okay. Um, your divine throne. And when you're in your divine throne, there's like everything starts to click. It's almost like all the energy starts to, I don't know, like waft your way. You know what I'm saying? It starts to oh, there we go. It starts to like vibrate in your direction. Like it starts to level up and level up and level up and charge and charge and charge. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like something that you're not even paying attention to. So this is something that's happening with your energy and your frequency that you're not going to be able to hear. You're not going to be able to um gain the knowledge or the information through somebody else. Like somebody else can't tell you how this is going to feel. Somebody else can't tell you what you need to do. Somebody else can't tell you what they did because the way the energy is hitting you. You get what I'm saying? As you step into your divine throne and you're shifting your energy, it's almost like you could miss it. If you blink, you miss it. All right. That's what it's giving. Let's see. Tell me why invisible there is in the reverse. Hold on, y'all. All right. So we have moon, So with this moon energy, okay, the full moon just took place. The full moon just took place, okay? The full moon stood, the energy of the full moon stood for 3 days, okay? 3 days. That energy, I think it was in Taurus, okay? I think it was a Taurus, and then it was a Gemini, and then it was something else, okay? But it was all full moon energy for 3 days consecutively, okay? They're letting me know. Oh, and on top of that, we're just experiencing right now, as I'm recording today, the 11/11 portal, okay? What you need to know, all of this is shifting and changing for you. It's shifting. This is the reason why you want to pop out. This is the reason why you don't want to play games anymore. This is the reason why you want to step into your divine throne. This is the reason why you're just like, if I don't get the message, I don't get the message, I'm going to keep moving, right? But they're saying like, hold on, hold on, right? Because there's still things with love here. There's still things that you need to work on. There's still things here that you need to work on, apparently. So hold on, let's see. Let's get some more details. What do they need to know? All right, we have the clock tower. We have the clock tower. The clock tower is here. Okay. So this is a divine tower that comes. This is divine change with the storks. There's a shift, there's a change taking place. All right. So it's not that you're just leaving things behind. It's like you're going towards calmer waters. You want to get away from the storm. You want to get away from the chaos. You want to get away from the drama. You want to get away from things that are going to distract you, right? So these are the changes that are taking place. You have the crossroads energy. Okay. So I'm seeing divine water sign feminine energy, divine earth sign feminine energy. Okay. The tree is here. So there's changes to your health, to your well-being, mentally, physically, emotionally. All right. This can be what you're consuming. This can be where you're headed, what your main focus in. Yeah, what your main focus is. I'm seeing that Seven of Hearts as like whatever you were confused about, you're finally, setting off a specific direction. So in this course, what you need to know is yes, there will be changes. It may feel chaotic, but the changes are for your betterment, your good. There's going to be changes with your spiritual downloads. There's going to be changes with your emotions, the way you emotionally what is that called? Regulate. When you're emotionally regulating, that's going to change. Um, your psychic abilities that you're utilizing, that's going to change. Okay. The way you show compassion to yourself and other people, that's going to change. All right. This is you're changing the way you used to do things based off of that old mentality of it's okay to people please, or it's okay to overpour, or it's okay to um, take on other people's responsibilities and stuff like that. You're shifting and changing that. Okay. And there's also a shift and change. Now, I'm not sure if like this is for some of you, it's like your career lane. All right. When I say that, I don't mean your career in general. I feel like it's like your career title. So either your job title or the job field in which you're working in is shifting. Okay. So this looks like uh a makeup artist becoming a salon owner, okay, or a salon owner creating a makeup brand, or let's see, a counselor working for themselves or working for a business, creating their own center, their own clinic. This is like expansion of your identity, but in terms of your career path. Okay. That also comes across in your spiritual practices, like in your spiritual life, your spiritual lifestyle. So maybe that will be tailored to that. Okay. But for each and every one of you is going to be completely different. But there is like a shift in some form of title. Okay. And we have angel number 22. Then we have the owl besties here. So there's also going to be some sort of tower in regards to a conversation. So this is like a hard conversation that has to be had. Like there's no more prolonging this particular conversation with this person. Or there's no more, what is that called? Delaying. There's no more like delaying or avoiding a blowout with someone or anything like that. Like it's like it has to happen, right? So like this is like two people have to invest in a conversation. Like someone has to do this. Like, so that's also something that they need to know. Like you need to know this right now, like because you got to prepare yourself for it because you have to do it regardless. The garden changes in your environment. So this could be your communal spaces. All right. This could be your social media accounts and stuff like that. This can be particular places that you go to often. So this could be your community, like your neighborhood. There could be changes in your neighborhood that take place that somehow, some way affects you in your journey, but you need to know about it. Okay. So maybe you might want to end up going there, or maybe it ends up impacting you somehow. Okay. Or maybe the people that are involved might impact you. Um, if it's social media, then again, that can impact you socially, but there's something that's impacting. I'm seeing like an event. I don't know if this is like an event or a group or like a gathering or something that could be significant. We have the anchor, the mountain, and the fish. Okay. This is the crossroads energy. So making choices and decisions in your relationships, making choices and decisions because either something is not happening quick enough or something is not happening at all. Okay. So having to, what is that called? Like make choices on the fly. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to make some sort of choices on the fly. And it could be in regards to finances, because again, I told you there's changes here in regards to finances and in terms of job title, career position. This could be ascension wise or expansion wise. Okay. If it has anything to do with delays, this is like rerouting, remapping, reassessing, reanalyzing when to do something, how to do something, and breaking that down. This is what you need to know. Like there's certain things that are going to be unexpected. They're not going to let you know word for word exactly what it is that you have to prepare for. They're just saying, be ready to make choices on the fly. Be ready to make choices on the fly, y'all. Because the shakeup that's taking place right now is a pretty big one. It's a pretty big shift, and that it's so close to the calendar new year. And the reason I say the calendar new year because spiritually the new year it starts in the spring. So we're literally at the last, the last lap of this year, the last cycle round of this year. You know, um, let me see. We pull some angel messages for you guys, and then I'm out of here. Anything that you guys need to know. Look at that. Angel number 1155. What do they need to know? And your spiritual team says that sometimes you're not gonna have time. There's a difference between not having time to make time for your spiritual routine and your practices, and sometimes you avoid doing those spiritual routine and practices, and you got to know the difference. You got to know when, like, okay, I'm just saying I don't have time, but I do have time because I'm scrolling on social media, or because I'm watching a whole bunch of TV, or because I'm engaging in activities with people that like really don't care about my mental health, or they don't care about my spiritual energy, or they don't care about my feelings, right? Um, and learning how to adapt to that and kind of question yourself. Okay, well, are you doing it because you're in your shadow attribute? Are you doing it because you're self-destructing right now? Or are you avoiding facing emotions? Are you avoiding trying to talk to something, or trying to talk about something, or trying to address something, right? Because sometimes it might not be that it's that you don't have time. It's more so, are you making time, or are you avoiding to do this thing, right? And I don't know exactly why they wanted me to talk to you guys about that, but they did. They mentioned it, so that could be significant in regards to like your spiritual routine, your practices. And everybody calls that something different. I call it a spiritual routine. When you do self-care, where you take care of your energy, when you're cleansing, when you're doing your protection baths, when you are honoring your ancestors, when you're connecting with spirit, when you are at your most spiritual, that is your spiritual routine, when you're really taking care of those particular things, right? Um, Other people call it, meditating, or, candle magic, or altar work, or writing in their affirmation journals, like everybody has their own word for it, but for me, it's like, in general, it's a spiritual routine. It's a spiritual practice that you either dedicate one day of the week to, or at least 15 to 30 minutes every day out of the week. So it just depends where you are. So that being said, let's see, angelic number 0. Raise your vibration on this new journey taking place for you. Look to your higher self now. Look to your higher self. Look to your higher self, angel number 0. Okay. That means connecting with your higher self, which is a little different from shadow work and shadow journaling, right? Shadow work and shadow journaling are basically like picking yourself apart to kind of see, what broke you, right? Your healing journaling looks more like closure responses and things that you needed to hear, or things that you want to hear, and finally closing the chapter. Healing journal prompts, right? When we talk about your higher self, or some people call it their future self, right? Because their future self would know better, their higher self. Um, you are now entering in the phase of manifesting and co-creating with the universe, where you can then create that version of yourself that's going to be motivational and inspirational and encouraging, and very adventurous, and very successful, and has so much guidance for you, um, so when you do your higher self meditating, because that's what you should be doing, higher self meditating, you meditate and you listen for the response of your higher self on particular situations that you're facing now. Okay. Where, like, say you're having issues financially. Maybe the issue is, I'm trying to figure out whether I'm supposed to be in this job or this job, or I'm trying to figure out if I should leave this job and start my own company, or I'm trying to figure out if I should continue learning more about spirituality or put a halt on it and kind of focus on my mental health instead, right? So you got to sit there and you got to focus on whatever that question is. And you're calling forth your higher self, calling forth your higher self. And as your higher self comes in, your higher self is going to start telling you things. Your higher self is going to start saying, don't you like this? Don't you like that? What about this thing? It starts showing you images, start reminding you things that you forgot about. It's they like your higher self like shows you the very next thing that you got to do, and then the list of things of like you have to fix. Okay. It's very difficult at first, especially if it's hard for you to meditate for longer than 2 minutes. All right. So if it's hard for you to meditate for longer than 2 minutes, then connecting with your higher self is probably not something that you should do right now. Because a lot of the first things that are going to come out is your shadow and like day-to-day tasks. Again, angel number 0, love confirmations like that. So raise your vibration. So you are taking some sort of new journey right now. That's why the crossroads energy was there for you guys. Okay, so we're all on your journey, y'all. Archangel Michael. All right. Whatever dragon was hovering over your head and bothering you and like trying to follow you and stalk you or whatever, that dragon has been slayed. All right. If you guys were under, spiritual warfare, battle, and this spiritual warfare could look like battling your own ego, battling your own shadow attributes, battling other people's projected emotions, projected circumstances, battling evil eye, battling lower vibrational entities and spirits that like to attach themselves to you, like spiritual energetic leeches, energy vampires, riding hags that bother you in the middle of the night and stuff like that, give you torments and stuff like that, right? Those entities have all been casted back to where they belong, in the hell realm. All right. So you don't have to worry about that because Archangel Michael is here with the victory sword. Okay. And then let's see what we get here. These. Any additional messages? Closing messages for my Crowllies. You guys comment down below. Let me know what other type of reading you guys would like to watch. I'm working behind the scenes on some new style readings. All right, so we'll see if you guys like that. We have reconsider. There's something that you have to reconsider. We have choose a new direction. We have in the near future. We have big happy changes, no need to worry, improving your health, don't stop. We have an opportunity coming up. Then we have compromise, listen to your intuition, and believe, okay? So it's unlikely for something to occur later than a year from now, okay? So if you were asking about timing or something like that, I don't think it's going to take that long for something to happen. Now you're in the beginning stage to raise your vibration. Okay. Is there any other message that you would like to tell them? Or what they would need to know right now? All right. Remain positive. There is something better out there for you. So that means that whatever you are considering or whatever you're thinking about may be a good idea, maybe a great idea, but there's something even better. Okay. So again, not being impulsive, not just jumping, having a plan, following through correctly on that. All right. So no, you need to let something go. Something needs to be released. Again, you're in this new journey right now. Very, very new journey. Feels a little fresh, a different experience. All right. You could be exploring new, what is that? You could be exploring new ideas. You could be exploring new projects. You could be exploring new environments, new relationships. There's something here that's new, and it's supposed to work out for you. All right, it's supposed to work out for you. So that being said, those are your messages. I will see you guys very soon. Thank you for joining me today. Peace.